So how'd you go? Yeah? Did you have big knockers?
Trev, we're on.
Thanks, Jim. Well, tragedy here today as we go live to air. It was only a couple of months ago that 2 miners were trapped underground for 14 days, and now we bring you the news that a tragedy of equal magnitude has occurred. 2 pizza boys on their way to delivering 2 family-sized Thin and Crispies have been found trapped inside their car. All we know at this stage is that the pizza boys are alive and that a rescue team has already been sent in to get them out. We will bring you more updates as they come to hand. Trevor Nicetie reporting for Channel 1. So how big are we talking? Are we talking like Maria Venuti size or Annalise Bracken? Thanks, Jim. I can tell you that the pizza boys are in good health. They are joking and laughing with the rescue team, and it may only be a matter of hours before they can get through to the 2 boys. But I think the most important thing to remember amongst all the angst and tragedy is that this story is exclusive to Channel 1. We may not always be first with the news, but we are always first on your remote. Jim?
Do you have any idea how they become stuck in the car in the first place? Sounds pretty ridiculous.
Well, that attitude isn't going to help anyone, Jim. It seems in what can only be described as a freak occurrence, all the door and window handles have all broken at the same time, trapping them inside. Here's an artist's impression of the situation.
In a few moments, I will be joined by an expert in tragedies who says another tragedy in the future is almost inevitable. But right now, I'm joined by the head of the Pizza Boy Trade Union, Mr. William Spank. William, what's happening in the car right now?
We have a group of rescuers working around the clock, using good old-fashioned Aussie mateship, trying to free these boys. They're using specially designed coat hangers and bits of that blue plastic stuff they pack around boxes. It's tough work, but we haven't given up hope.
Why doesn't someone just smash a window in?
Jim, this is a delicate operation. We want to get these guys out safely. Plus, another concern at the moment is their physical health. They've been stuck in the car now for 8 hours on only 2 family-sized Thin and Crispies, a garlic bread and a soft drink. Because they're only Thin and Crispy pizzas, they won't have as much sustenance as a regulation deep pan.
Any idea of the type of pizzas we have in the car?
My sources tell me it's meat lovers in Hawaiian.
Hawaiian? When will the Australian public learn that pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza?
I blame the government's new industrial relations laws. They display a complete lack of Aussie mateship.
Very good. Trevor.
Thanks, Jim. There are some concerns over the rising carbon dioxide levels in the car, but the greatest concern is the methane levels. 2 men, 2 pizzas, no ventilation. It's a potentially lethal combination, and don't get me started on the garlic breath. But there is a bright side to this potential tragedy. Just moments ago, I was informed that a benefit concert has already been organised for the 2 boys. Shannon Knoll was going to be headlining it, but after a freak big black shiny car accident, he is nursing a fractured soul patch and is unable to perform. Lee Harding was also going to be in the concert, but has withdrawn this afternoon after it was discovered that he has no talent. Jim?
Trevor, do you actually have any footage of the guys in the car? Seems to me that would be the first thing you would get.
Unfortunately, Jim, the police have cordoned off the whole area. No news crews are allowed in, and bizarrely, they aren't accepting any bribes, so no footage at this stage.
What kind of breaking exclusive news story doesn't have any footage of the story it's covering, Trevor?
Well, what would you like me to do, Jim? Tell the Chief of Police to jam it up his bottom and go in anyway?
That's what a real journalist would do, Trevor.
There's no footage, but we do have this scientifically accurate dramatic recreation, which will give viewers a spot-on idea of what's happening at the car.
Thanks, Trevor. Your shonky attempts at professionalism always make me smile. Coming a bit later in this update, more heart-wrenching scenes in slow motion with quasi-classical music. But right now I am joined again by the head of the Pizza Boy Trade Union, Mr. William Spank. William, can you tell us a little bit about the rescue process?
Certainly, Jim. Basically, we have a Plan A and Plan B strategy. Plan A is what's in operation at the moment and consists of a team of the finest car thieves in the country trying to break into the car. A lot of these thieves are junkies, so I've let them know that there's a top-of-the-line car stereo in the car. If this is to fail, we have a crack squad of road ragers ready to bust their way in as Plan B. But I must admit, this is a last resort option, because once inside the car, there's no guarantee they won't beat the pizza boys to a bloody pulp.
Which would defeat the purpose in rescuing them.
Yeah.
Thanks, William. Trevor, can you give us a little bit of an insight into the plans of what happens when the boys are finally freed?
Certainly, Jim. Well, first the CEO of our station, Channel 1, is going to come down here and have lots of footage of him taken at the pub, having a beer and a laugh with the locals in a completely facetious way, trying to act like he's just an average guy, even though he earns several $1 million a year more. Then in a couple of weeks' time, the host of our current affairs program is going to have a completely maudlin interview with the two pizza boys, with plenty of that quasi-classical music we use when we're trying to tell people that something emotional is going on, as well as several hundred references to Aussie mateship. What's that? Well, it seems I've just been fired, so I'd just like to take this opportunity to say I've always hated you, Jim, and I hope your genitals get roasted to a crispy brown in the fires of hell. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Trevor. I've just been told we're only moments away from the boys being finally freed. But sadly, we've run out of time. Coming up next, our new reality TV show, Fab Rehab, where we take a bunch of crackheads, make them over, and you, the public, get to vote on whether or not they get treatment or not. That's coming up next on Channel 1.